So we've been getting tons of new Grounded news, guys. We have another Xbox Game Showcase deep dive on Grounded 2. And guess what is showed here? They leaked that we are actually going to be getting a tarantula. But I wanted to go over this. We're definitely going to get over the tarantula part. But they dive in pretty much what's different with Grounded 2, a little bit of this. Hopefully the story. We got the buggies. They're going to dive into the buggies a little bit more. And the archetypes and mutations. And so I wanted to go through this because, again, they're giving us a lot of Grounded 2 info. And we get a little bit of a better look at the interface here as well and everything. So let's get it, guys. Let's get it.
Podcast range from
I'm really excited about this. And we're going to pause throughout everything and talk about things, break things down. If I miss anything, let me know.
I'm Malik, that's right. Well, speaking of our guests, we have, of course, Marcus Morgan, who is executive producer, and Chris Parker, who's game director. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so excited to have you. I just want to ask, like, we're talking about Grounded 2, just revealed at the Xbox Game Showcase. What does it feel like to be able to say Grounded 2? Because I know for so long you've had to keep it under wraps, and now the world knows about it.
It's a pretty big change. It's awesome. You know, one of the most important things, one of the things we're most excited about is getting out there with the community and actually talking about the game and actually being able to use the title Grounded 2. It's a really exciting time for us. We're super geeked.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. All the new furniture.
Executive producer.
Here we go.
I mean, the first thing was, what are all the things about Grounded that we just can't change? Because the game is so freaking good. If anything, we're just going to level them up and make them better. And one of the things we did right off the bat was go to all the community feedback that we had from the first game. Number one feature that the community asked for, which was let us ride around on insects, which we call buggies. People always want new biomes and new environments. What are just simple quality of life features that we think we can add into this game?
All right. Hell yeah.
Saying, how do we make this like the best Grounded 2 we possibly could?
I always think about it in the three big buckets of, you know, a whole new world and a whole new story, right? With moving from the backyard to a bigger space in the park. So it's 2 years later from Grounded 1, and there was an event that is happening at Brook Hollow Park, which is the city where Grounded 1 takes place. Some shenanigans go on, and we find our cast of teens shrunken again and needing to figure out what happened, why it's happening, maybe battle against Ominent or not again, and other mysterious figures that might be cruising around in Brook Hollow Park. So for our game preview launch, it is basically Act 1. It'll take you quite a bit more time to get through the main story of this one, but there's a lot more to come.
We're putting just enough in there so that as we go through early access, people can see and understand kind of what we're doing, who the characters are. They can also give us feedback on that. And then again, at 1.0, that's when we're really going to come in with thicker, deeper story and really add to it and make sure that everything that we're building really works together, and that the community did.
That's so cool. I love
hearing,
that.
You know, almost every time you all mention something that you have put in or you develop, the community comes into play, and I'll talk about that in a second. But because it is me, we're talking about buggies. We're absolutely talking about buggies, and I need to know right now. So, okay. Tell us everything. What can you do? What kind of buggies do we have? What can I get excited for? Can I dress them up? I need to know all this right now because I know everyone else will want that information too, but mostly I'm asking for me.
The biggest thing that we had in our minds from day one with regards to buggies was they're not just something you ride. They are integrated into the entire survival experience.
That's so dope.
To focus how
I really like that aspect of the
first one we
buggies.
developed is the Red Ant Soldier, and this is sort of like a general purpose buggy, right? So it can do, again, almost everything that you can do on foot, you can do while you're riding that Red Ant Soldier. So you can fight on that soldier, you can cut down your grass and pick up the grass. It actually has a gather mode, so if you go and just like mow the lawn, so to speak, then you can just hold down X, he just hoovers everything up for you without you having.
Sorry to interrupt, like that is, I think, a quality of life feature that only like the core fans will get. Like if you ever have to go get all the thistles to go like make your arrows,
right?
It can be kind of annoying, like having to click and gather every single one. So when you can just toggle on gather mode and it's just like a vacuum cleaner that sucks them, it feels so much better.
It's totally true. But also you can get back to all those verbs, right? You can place blueprints for construction. You can actually
Oh, look at
build
that.
directly
Is
while
that
you're still on
what
top
is
of the
that? A
buggy.
feeder?
You can eat and drink and manage your inventory. And of course, that red ant soldier has its own inventory. So if you're full, you can go. And
That
load it up
I
with
really
stuff.
like
So,
this
you don't
concept
have
of
to
the
go back to
buggies
base
like
and
this.
Put everything away.
Because if
And then, critical, you can.
I like this because like when you have like the ant, the red ant, armor set and everything, you get better stuff for you to go out and like gather, resources. There's people who had like if you drink one of those like one of the smoothies for the red ant stuff for better for picking up items, people had like 50 items to hold. So I wonder if that's gonna be applied too with riding, the red soldier ant buggies. I really like that. That is so clean, and it's also good because you don't really need an axe. Once you have them, you can just burn through everything, and you don't really need an axe anymore as much.
But you don't only fight on the buggy because they also make a really good companion character. So you can jump off. They will go ahead and attack whatever you're fighting against too. So you can use them either as your sort of front line or as a tank for you if you want to, which is great to have somebody else kind of with me in the game as a partner and somebody that can help me fight.
That's cool.
I love with using the red soldier ant buggy is you can actually go into ant hills with the buggy, and then the other ants won't attack you. But it makes it feel kind of like this off-road ATV underground experience that you get from an exploration standpoint as well.
I love all of this. I love absolutely all of this. But you have left out one very critical, crucial feature. Please roll the footage.
We have footage.
We got footage.
Oh, yeah.
You can pet the buggy.
Oh my god, of course, you have to pet
the first feature we put in for the buggy. I mean, before anything else, it was like
petting a spider? That's cool.
You can see here it's an orb weaver.
Oh, look, I didn't realize they had armor.
Of course, you can name your buggy.
Oh my god, what? I didn't realize that they had, look, the buggies have armor sets. What? Can we, just like we can equip the armor to our pets in Grounded 1, where you can equip armor sets to your buggies? Bro, that's dope. I didn't notice that.
Sure, you can pet him, and you can see here it's an orb weaver.
But I just want to add, the other thing that you can do is, of course, you can name your buggy. You can make a nest for it. Yeah. Well, you
nice.
Follow up with your buggy community and see what the community says about this. If you're on the easiest setting, mild or medium, then what happens instead is if your buggy goes down and you don't revive your buggy, it goes back to its nest and it has to chill out there for a few hours and recuperate.
Oh, that's
cool. If you put it on, yes.
Okay.
If you have it on the hardest difficulty, though, then permadeath is a thing if you want that challenge and you want to always have buggies in reserve in case you lose one.
Wait, can I have a sled team of buggies?
You can have a number of buggies, yes, at any given time.
Nice.
Speaking of, the Orb Weaver buggy. So this is much more of like a late game ad. You're going to have to play through a lot of the game preview version to actually get this recipe.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Obtain the necessary materials and then to get this buggy. Your Orb Weaver does not help you build a base. What it helps you do is just beat the crap out of all the other insects because it's big and it's bad. It does a ton of damage. Its special attacks are all about webbing up other insects.
I like that whole aspect of it too. That is so dope.
Terrify other insects. It's a really fun, really fast buggy to run around on.
You'll notice there's these spider web bridges that, like, if you try to walk across them, good luck. It'll take you like an hour in game. But if you have your Orb Weaver buggy, you'll be able to navigate and get to places that those Orb Weaver buggies can reach. And with the red soldier ant, there's these roots that are kind of spread all throughout the park that they can chomp through those roots, so you can kind of get through and find kind of like hidden secrets or little milk molars or anything.
Oh yeah, someone said if they had milk molars, they're keeping the milk molar mechanic in there. That's cool. I really like that.
Really helps us develop over time. We actually thought really early on about having a lot more buggies besides just the soldier ant and the orb weaver spider for a game preview launch. But we decided to pull that back to first see how everyone plays with them. What do they like? What features are they requesting? How are they using them? Are they doing things we never expected? We wanted to roll out more over time. And so we'll hear what you all want. And kind of
exactly.
what kind of...
All right. They showed the bee. First of all, we have to get at least a flying mount. 100%, they need to give us a flying mount. Please, 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 please give us a flying mount. If they add a grasshopper mount as well, please.
Rises to the top. But 2, it'll make the buggies better because we didn't kind of overdo it right out the gate.
We're starting off with 4 of them. There's like a warrior, a ranger,
There
a
it
mage,
is.
and a rogue are the basic D&D
Definitely
types.
changed up the
And there are
interface.
classes that you'll select, but there are things in the interface.
I like
that
this.
help
I
the
like
player
this, though.
understand, like, if I want to go do this today, maybe with all of my friends, I'm going to be the.
They definitely had a sense of this in Grounded 1 with the mutations, but like they said here, I like how they're leaning a little bit more into it. Not fully, but at least like they're you know, there's definitely
I should take this weapon. I should select these mutations right now, and it will really help.
Oh, right there. I just read it. It's right there. Hold up.
Select these mutations.
Okay, sharpshooter.
Right
Right here. Pheromone shot. Yo, it's right here. Kill a tarantula. Axel's venom has seeped into your sweat glands, imbuing your perfect shots with seeking rage. Kill 1 tarantula. They're adding a freaking buggy tree pheromone shot. They're adding a tarantula.
It will really help guide that.
And then here, Frenzy. Deal increased damage with melee weapons and regenerate health. Perfect block timing is reduced. Defeat the mysterious stranger. So there's going to be a lot more to this.
That player experience.
Perfect blocks.
It's in a way that
Gold cards.
we think will just sort of make.
Oh my,
Grounded
dude,
even
it's
more fun.
it's there. That's so
10
clean.
completely new armor types in the game, and I'm a big.
Oh yeah, the
fan.
armor types.
Seeing kind of
Oh yeah,
how cool the
dude, look at the butter. Dude, this is the butterfly armor set right here. You can see the wings around his waist, the shoes a little bit.
Look, we have a unevolved ladybird armor that just
This full-on ladybird armor like this, I like this whole setup. And I hope this mace is gonna be for the ladybird.
like, kind of like real sword and board kind of feeling. And just like Halo, you got a dual wield when you.
Oh
get
my
to-
god.
I mean, that's the obvious choice. But come ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no, I was good. When we looked at the rogue archetype, we were like, we just have to have dual wielding. So those are actually orb weaver things.
That is so dope.
Her dual wielding dagger type.
I wonder if we're gonna get the different tier of, you know, dual daggers fangs for, like, you know, orb weaver, wolf spider, tarantula. I don't know if they're bringing back the Black Widow or whatever. So that would be so
With
dope.
the rogue, like, you might do a little bit of sneaking, but that's not really what Grounded 2 gameplay is all about. Like, with the rogue, what you are is sort of like your glass-jawed, heavy damage dealing melee fighters. But we also added in
Dude.
The ability to dash. So
That
when you're
dash
playing a
mechanic looks
rogue
so
character,
dope.
You tend to dash in and out of danger. You could also dash in and do like heavy attacks, which are pretty cool. So there's a lot of new and different options there.
I like that.
We
I like
knew
that.
we wanted to go deeper on the mages than we did with Grounded. He's wearing.
That's true. I like the staffs in Grounded 1. Definitely a great addition. But I'm glad that they're really building off of it here. That is
butterfly
so
armor there,
dope.
Which is very nice, very magey armor. And so we did a bunch of work on the staffs and just sort of improving how that felt and how it worked. Why is he celebrating like this?
I just love the butterflies like majestically in the background.
Alrighty, guys. So that's pretty much the game preview. They gave us a lot. They talked about a lot. It was very interesting. I'm really surprised that they are like they're giving us so much. I'm sure they paused there because they wanted to show people that we were getting a freaking tarantula. They know what they were doing. They know exactly what they were doing, man. That dude. Oh, I know that's a highly requested bug from the community. Freaking tarantulas, guys. Oh my god. I hope we get to see it in the game preview. I cannot wait to dive into the game preview, guys. With everything being showed from the buggies, the mutations, the archetypes, everything. I am 100. Dude, I was already hooked when I saw, you know, the Yo Girth toys. I'm just ready for Grounded 2. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and I will see you guys in the next stream or some more content regarding Grounded, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.